Hi, Brice. It's great to have you with me today. This is the first edition of this brand new podcast I'm launching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X now, and elsewhere. It's called Show Me the Magic. So the purpose is to share with you the magic of the products that I love, that I use, which is the case for La Growth Machine. Brice is the CEO, co-founder or founder of La Growth Machine?
Co-founder. Co-founder, we
Co-founder,
are
yeah,
three.
because it's always a
Yes.
bit tricky when you announce someone. Is he the founder, the solo founder, the co-founder? So you're the co-founder of La Growth Machine. Tell me a bit more about the backstory. How did you start this product?
Hello, Fred. Thanks for inviting me, especially for this first edition. And so for the backstory, Lagos Machine is a sales automation platform. I created it like 5 years ago. But it was still before that date. It was a project that I created in my previous company, Dozio, which is a growth marketing agency. Uh, we help companies grow, basically doing lead generation campaigns. Um, I was using tons of different tools, mostly single channel, mono channel tools to do outreach, because at the time, so in 2018, there was nothing to do multi channel. And for one of my clients, that was an insurance company, just starting, just launching their new product, they wanted to do something massive. They were targeting freelance and solopreneur, uh, and they wanted to do the biggest launch possible. What we identified was that solopreneur, freelance, independent workers were mostly active on Twitter, on Dribble, on LinkedIn, on Behance. Basically, Behance and Dribble being for
Mhm.
creative people. And when you're freelance in marketing, you do LinkedIn or Twitter, etc., etc. So each type of independent was using a different channel, but all of these independent were using email. And so we wanted to maximize our efficiency and thought that we would target people, creative people on Dribble plus X plus email, for marketing people on LinkedIn and email and Twitter, and for other on other channel, etc. etc. So we started building custom scripts that were scrapping and automating actions on this channel. At the end, we had created 4 or 5 different scripts that were uh, fully functional to do other campaigns. And the results of the first campaign has been impressive. We generated 25,000 signups for the new insurance, especially dedicated to the freelance. 25K in 3 months. That was a
Mhm.
success.
That's a lot, yes.
Yeah. And so we tested this mechanism a second time on another client. It worked again. And a third client worked again. And so I hired a tech guy to help me add a front to the scripts. That was Boris, my co-founder at Lagos Machine. Boris created something from scratch. Honestly, our first code was completely uh, a very bad code. I did the code, but it was really messy.
It's always a good sign for a product when you start with something which is messy, a bit rusty like that, I guess. Yes.
Probably, probably I wasn't sure that I could sell it self-serve with the first version. So Boris has been really helpful on this. We created a front. The front was for our clients that wanted to continue using it, and for the team inside the agency to use it. And we continued doing this until the day that we decided with Boris that uh, we should probably open this to more than just the agency's clients. And so we built Lagos Machine
And you
to
were
do
one
this.
of the first to do
Yes, we
this
were the
multimodal.
first. Yeah, the first doing multi-channel. It was 2018. The first we started officially 2019, but I think the first offer doing multi-channel has been 2020 or something like this.
Okay, and you said that at that time you were also active on Behance and Dribble, so you were automating sending forms and all of that via your scripts.
No, what we did was scraping Behance and Dribble to find the LinkedIn and the Twitter
Okay, okay,
usernames, and then activate.
and then activate them on something which was the beginning of La Growth Machine. And I wanted to ask you before we dive into the product. The fact that you decided to add Twitter at that time, which is now called X, as we know, what was the motivation to put Twitter in the loop?
Exactly the reason I mentioned. It was because our initial our clients were targeting creative people. Creative people use Twitter a lot.
Indeed.
And
Okay.
so we scrapped Behance, Dribble, their Twitter account, and engaged on that platform.
Okay. And today, in the user base, what is the proportion of the users you would say who are using
Not a lot.
Twitter X? Not a lot. Okay.
Really not a lot. Because our persona, our new ICP at La Grosse Machine today doesn't really, for two reasons, I'd say. The first one is that our ICP is mostly looking for B2B services. And so X is not specifically designed for B2B services. And second, it was a great time for Twitter in 2018, 2019, 2020. But since I'd say 2 years, Twitter is quite declining in engagement, especially. And it's been spammy a lot more.
The type of content is different, I guess, today than what it used to be. Yes,
exactly.
Great. So the purpose of the podcast, the video podcast, it's better to join us, obviously, on a video channel to look at the user experience, the UX and the UI, is to share with you what I think are great products in terms of UX execution. So what I'd like to ask Brice is just to fire up La Growth Machine and share his screen. Hopefully Riverside will work in terms of screen sharing. It should. I mean, it's a good product also. I would like to have also the people of Riverside joining for a podcast. So if you listen to this podcast, just send me a DM to appear on one of the next editions. So if you could just open that.
I do.
I would just have a closer look at the interface. I know the interface, so it's already a good start. So, but for those of you who don't know what's going on there, you will explain each of the screen to let people know what they have in front of them.
This is exactly my campaigns. So this is the real campaigns, not fake data, dummy data. So as you can see, I have multiple campaigns running. This is the campaign list where we see all the campaigns that are running on my behalf. You can see that it's my face here because, well, it's automating on my behalf. I have a few campaigns here, and the specificity for me as the CEO as La Grosse Machine is that I personally don't use La Grosse Machine for outbound, but for inbound. But still,
okay.
I will explain you how La Grosse Machine works. And one of the very interesting difference is that most of our users are using La Grosse Machine to outbound, to go outside and look for new clients. They use it to scrap LinkedIn, get people that match a certain LinkedIn search. I will show that. On my side, I use it to engage with people that are already not completely cold, medium cold, I'd say. But that's exactly the same behavior. You can use La Grosse Machine exactly the way you want. Let me explain. This is the campaign list where you see all your campaigns. You can see the different performance, where we are in terms of advancements, in terms of replies, etc. Well, the core is more when you try to create a campaign. I will not use the templates that we have. You have tons of templates that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Create a campaign from scratch. When you create a campaign, show me the magic 101. So when you create a campaign on Lagos Machine, you have this Canva. This Canva lets you create the exact workflow that you currently do manually with your sales.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, what I want to do is, as soon as someone enters this campaign, I want to add him as a relation on LinkedIn. You just need to click the button. You've seen that. So you just click the button and you see all the actions that we support. We support actions on LinkedIn, visit profile, add relations, send message, send voice, etc., etc. You can also send email, or as you said earlier, actions on Twitter or
Mm-hmm.
X. In gray, you have actions that are more, you should consider that as utilities. It is inside Lagos Machine.
If I
So
can just interrupt you for those of us who are following this podcast and who know a bit about automation tools, it might be familiar to you. Look a bit like what you can have on, let's say, Make, Integromat, or Zapier, or something like 8N, I think the open source one. But this thing, and that's what makes a great product also, is purpose built for this specific use case. So for those campaigns, so you don't have to figure out how to, let's say, configure it for campaign management. It's made for campaign management, and that's the good part also of it.
Yeah, we try to create that to create a flow that's not targeting people with tech skills, contrary to Make, to Nathan, and in a certain sense, Zapier is not made for tech people, but it's really limitative. We've tried to find the best word by being very vertical on the outreach or outbound scenarios. In my case, I start the flow with the add relation, and then because you just add it as a relation, you can find different conditions, and basically after a relation, what you want to say is that is ask if he accepted your invitation. So if during the first 7 days, we'll look for him to accept if he accepts the relation or not. If he does, then I will be able to send him a message on LinkedIn. And if it did not, after 7 days, it did not accept my relation, then that's exactly why we built Lagos Machine. You can create a branch, a negative branch, and switch channel. Basically, instead of sending a LinkedIn message, send in an email.
Yeah, that's the fallback.
Now, the fallback, exactly.
Mm.
Now, it's quite huge. As in any sales automation platform, you can add a text that will be sent. You can add variables. In my case, a first name, etc. Of course, you can create the exact message that you want. The email, exactly the same. That's not my goal today to show you what to write. Blah blah. And now, but well, you will have to create a follow-up message, because follow-up message gets you the most important number of replies. That's not the first message that will get you the most reply. So I will say if after 7 days he did not reply, I will send him a new message. Of course, you can say that you don't want 7 days, but you want less days. And so you can click that arrow and say, okay, just after 3 days, I will send that. What makes us a little bit different than others, except if I put apart the fact that we have branches and that a lot of sales automation tools don't have the branches, is that you can switch in LinkedIn, you can switch from a text message to a voice message.
To a voice note, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to a voice note. And so if he didn't reply to my message here, I will be able to record and say, I seen that you did not reply my message, blah, 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 blah. That works. But you can also use our voice plus AI feature to say, okay, to personalize your message at scale using your own voice,
Mm-hmm.
by AI. And so you will record your message here, and then you will use your voice to train an LLM, a voice LLM, that will generate the same tone, the same voice, but to say a first name. And so we'll join both and say a Brice, a David, a I don't know, Jonathan, whatever.
What is the efficiency of a voice note when you compare it to a text message, I would say?
Um, on average, you get 2 dot something, 2.1, 2.2 more replies when you use voice message. For
Mm-hmm.
2 reasons, I'd say. The first reason will be that people don't know that you can send voice message on LinkedIn, and so they're surprised. Yeah, and so they're surprised and interested by testing the feature as easy as this. And the second is that when you send a voice message on LinkedIn, you just have a blue button with a play
Mm-hmm.
button. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a blue line with a play button.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so, what's people? It's a FOMO basically. The FOMO. So you know that someone tried to talk to you, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what he wanted to say, and
Yeah.
so you
So you're
are
just curious and you want to just click on this button to listen
to
to what
listen
was
to.
sent. Yes, yes.
And so you reach more people. It works really, really well. Of course, that's exactly what, like any channel, when you do outbound, it works today. You should
Mm-hmm.
use it today, because in 2 years it may not work anymore because everybody
Yes,
uses.
the novelty effect will be less important in 2 years. And also, I guess you have maybe some tips or best practices on what
Yes.
should be in a voice message like that, or even in a text message.
Um, that's a very good question. We've seen people sending voice message as a first message. You can see that I didn't use it as a first
Mm-hmm.
message, and that's on purpose. I use it a lot as a follow-up, and it works better as a follow-up because I've said what I had to say in the first message. You're on LinkedIn, so it's a chat mode. Okay, you shouldn't send more than 4 lines maximum per message, but you said what you had to say. The voice message should be something in the same manner, so something really small, short. Never pitch using a voice message. Never. Just do your follow-up. Say, okay, I'm not sure if you've seen that. I will. That's something that I use a lot. I will share with you a link to the sum up of our offer right after this. And what I do
Mm-hmm.
is that after this, without any delay, I will add a message here,
Mm-hmm.
and on this message, wait a second, I will then put just my link.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so
Yeah.
what you see in your LinkedIn inbox is a blue button and then a link. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why he sent me this link. I want to listen to what he said,
Context. Yes.
the context,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can click the link to understand more, to see more. This,
Mm-hmm.
it works quite well. This version of it works really, really well. At least
I
on my.
would say maybe also that in the way you write messages, not only the way you would write the copy for the voice note, but also the other messages. Think about the way you would genuinely speak to someone. Not that's the problem today, and we'll probably speak later about AI and generative AI and all that good stuff. But is that if you go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to write an outbound message for you, it will sound cheesy and not really the kind of message you would have sent to someone, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Three things on the copywriting. Outbound. If you use outbound to close deals without a conversation, you're not using outbound the right way. You should use outbound to create conversation with someone, understand what he needs, what he wants, and then see if he can use your service, your tool. So my campaigns are not pitching my product; they are pitching the pain that I see for my prospects, and only this. And so I'm trying to discuss with them about the pain, see if they feel the pain, And if they do, we'll have a conversation. We'll see. We see later if he can convert. And so if you shift your mindset from I want to sell to I want to discuss with that person, you will not write the same message, and you will probably write a message that will be shorter, more interesting for your prospects, and also, well, less. How did you say cheesy? Less cheesy.
And which triggers a conversation. I mean, you want to end with a CTA, a call to action, which is like an invitation to just have a chat, to open the conversation, I guess.
And you can absolutely, yes. But when I see a message asking me if I have 15 minutes for a call, well, it's too much. I don't know.
It's too engaging.
No, too engaging. I'm not interested in spending 15 minutes with someone I didn't know 5 minutes ago. So where the message I reply the most are those that give me value. I thank for the value, and then we start discussing.
And the value can also be, and that's something that you can automate to a certain extent, a piece of content that you will share that is personalized for the user. I think that it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe just before the holidays, you sent a message to the users, introducing them to a personalized video service that they could use in connection with like Growth Machine, SensePark or something like that, I think. Yeah.
No, it was Visly in November.
Oh, it was Visly? Okay, there was another one. But you've got different services you can use, but clearly provide value to the person on the other side so that they can say, okay, they just invested some time in my case, not just blasting emails. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll come back to the demo. Now that I have done this, so if he accepts me, I send him a message, then a voice message followed by another very quick message. I can also work on that branch and say, I don't know, if after 7 days I don't get any reply to that email, I will send just a follow-up email. Okay, that's quite basic. What's nice then is that what you should have in mind is that you have approximately 30% of people who will accept you. So in this branch, okay, that's the average. You can get more, you can get less, but that's the average. It depends on the targeting, depends on your profile, depends on the optimization of your profile and of your message. What we see is that when you interact with people before asking them adoration, you will increase your acceptance rate by 10% just by doing this, boom, and then you like their latest post. Just as easy as this. If you like the latest post of someone, it will be more likely to accept you and so move to that branch. And because we know that LinkedIn gets you more than 18% replies, and this gives you, well, between 2 and 10%, depending on the quality of your campaign. This is definitely this branch that gives you more reply than this one. And so adding a like will improve the number of people who receive that branch, and so improve your reply rate.
And what about the invite note that you can attach to the first request? Have you seen also a material impact of that?
You can add a note or not in here. Yes, we do. We do see an impact. If you add, but that's quite exactly the same way that the liking a post will increase your acceptance rate, which is probably something that's obvious for some people. You interacted with him before, and so he knows your face. When you send a message in your contact request, you explain why you're reaching out.
Okay? You want to engage, yes.
Mm-hmm. You want to engage, and explaining why will basically act as a filter. People who want to engage with what you said will accept. People who will not, who don't want, will not. And so what you see is that when you add a message to your ad relation block, you will get less acceptance, but more conversion.
Yeah, the quality further down the line would be higher.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite
So
logical.
you get approximately, from the last time we measured this, approximately 4 points less when you add a message, but you will get way more than 4 points more down the line in terms of.
And technically, I would just like to say that it's important to understand that if you want to have the full capacity, the full power of those invites, you have to be a premium user on LinkedIn. So if you are a free user, you are capped in terms of the amount of invite notes you can send on a weekly basis. So if you are premium or if you are a sales navigator, then you can have the full potential, I would say, in terms of a weekly volume. But that's also, and maybe it's a good occasion to jump on something else which is important in a product like this, is that you can control I would say, the pressure, the volume, and all of that.
Let me finish on this screen, and I move back to the other one. So we'll come back to the velocity, basically, the velocity, the number of action that you can send every day. I'll finish with that just before jumping to the next one, because it's another screen. Basically, in this case, you can also, and that's just what I wanted to add, you can say that you want if after a few days you don't get a reply, you can add a call, for example. Okay, this is just a note. That's not an automated call. That's really a manual task, and you can add whatever you want, and your SDR will have to use that data. You can use how to say this, variables that you included in the lead. You can do calls, and you will have tasks that will be listed in your tasks on the left. And every day you come and you see what you have to do, or the calls that you have to do.
So in terms also of product offering, it shows that you are also expanding a bit into like a pre-sale CRM or something like that, where you have a few features for the early days of the sales process, where people can organize their tasks. They can also reply, and we'll see that in another screen, I guess, directly from like Growth Machine to the different channels. So you can have this as a kind of standalone pre-sale CRM. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. We consider that our job ends when someone, the job of the campaigns ends when someone replied. When someone replied, being on the phone, on LinkedIn, or by email, they will have to take back the control of the conversation, and so that's the reason why we have the inbox. But yeah, we consider that we have to do everything we can to get replies.
And also technically, when there is a reply, because I've got asked this question a lot by the clients using it, when you have a reply, it stops the sequence. So you don't get the next message sent when there is a reply.
Absolutely. Yeah, when someone replies, it will automatically stop the campaign. And you can even say that, okay, before stopping the campaign, unfollow him on Twitter because I followed him in the campaign, or just push the data to make or to anything, anywhere, etc., etc. Yeah, we automatically stop for your campaign when you get a reply.
And you've got another neat feature in terms of the smartness of it, is that when there is an out of office
this one.
in email, you basically can recognize, figure out how long they will be out of office from the message, and then you will resume the sequence when they are theoretically back to the office.
That's it.
Which is cool.
When you send me an out of office reply, I will detect the dates at 3 days. So I'll give you just a few days to come back.
Buffer.
And 3 days after that, you receive the rest of the campaign. We'll automatically resume that.
Yeah.
So imagine that's okay. You can also add, I don't know, Twitter, for example. Twitter maybe. Just you like the latest tweets, and so he will see your face 1, 2, 3 times before accepting. It will probably boost your acceptance rate.
Yeah, that's good.
Now you want to push people inside that campaign and execute the campaign. To do this, you can you can use one of your audience or create a new one from a CSV, any file. From your CRM, you can connect Pipedrive or HubSpot and import any contact list that you created there. Or you can import people from LinkedIn, being a LinkedIn search, basic search of Sales Navigator, any list that you create on Sales Navigator, or intents, people who liked the post, your post or anyone's post, commented on post, same, your post or anyone's post, who attended an event.
That's pretty cool, that one. I like
Yeah,
it.
that one's cool. You can do this on your events, but not only on your events, and follow your company. For this one, only your company, not anyone else. The intent gets you more reply. That's obvious, but more replies than these because, well, they don't know you. They know you at some point. The last one that we created a few weeks ago, the database. We have our own database, but we decided to create a database that's not exactly looking like any other database. We're not focused on leads. We're focused on what our users do. They are doing more ABM than regular search. So we created an account-based marketing segmentation. Basically, you can search by any filter, okay, so size, location, industry, whatever you want, or just look for companies that look like your current clients. So if I don't know, I use this one, that's my agency, the growth agency that I mentioned at the very beginning. You can see that we found 1,755 companies that look like this growth agency. You can say that this is a growth agency. Okay, it's not just filtering by industry. It's really like it's really AI based lookalike. You see that it's in India, in Brazil, etc., etc. So I want to focus on on France.
French one, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, just because I'm French. No real reason. We found, so we understand.
I mean, you don't have to reveal your sources, but you're plugged to something else, or it's
No,
your
no.
database or
No,
some
we
data. I mean, I
start.
guess you bought the data from someone, but yeah.
In fact, we started using an external tool, but the tool was not allowing us to do what we have in mind in 6
For the
months.
lookalikes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we needed to create our own database. And well, what you see on the screen is basically a copy of what you have on LinkedIn. Every company on
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is available there. That's quite easy to do, easy to scale. We are a LinkedIn automation company, so we know how to do this.
Yeah. But the
Um,
question for lookalikes, for instance, sometimes is that there are some tools that are focused on lookalikes, but my impression is that very often they're too focused on the semantic part of the lookalike, like a bit like a glorified SEO search engine, where you would say, okay, if it's about that product, if we find the keyword on the home page, it's probably a competitor. But as we know, it's a bit more complex being a competitor of another company. So having real lookalikes, and to be honest, I haven't checked the output of what you offer, but
we
really
basically
nailing it, it's quite complex.
it's definitely not the simplest thing to do, and that's one of the reasons we have this. And if you use it, feel free to rate
Mm-hmm.
the results because we will iterate on the quality. What we the, on this specific feature, we spend more time specifying and testing the algorithm than
Mm-hmm.
scrapping, enriching, uh, vectorizing the data, etc., etc. It took like 10% of the time, and the most important part was to perfect the algorithm. Definitely, exactly what you said. We are honestly quite happy with what we have today. You'll find probably things that don't work, but if you look at this, for example, you can see that it's in French, sorry, but that's all of these are probably growth agency that are doing lead generation, outbound, etc., etc. So exactly what I was looking for.
And can you connect the lookalike with, let's say, you've got an audience which worked in one of your campaigns, and you've got, let's say, 15 companies there, and you want to enrich them.
Exactly, that's what we want, where we want to go. When you have the right company, you can find the right leads inside the company and say, okay, I want the CEOs, I want the founders, etc., and you will import everybody. But you were right. Our end goal is not this. When you send a message using the campaigns, you will receive positive, negative replies. People interested, not interested, and that's exactly what we want. For example, in this case, Neha said she wasn't interested. Okay, great. So she's not interested. But on this one, she was interested, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, she was interested. And so what I want is say, okay, she's interested. And now that she's interested in my product, just a second, we will consider this as a sign of, it works. And
it's a signal, yeah.
Exactly, a signal that works, that it's worked for. So Pixpan is interested in in my offer. And so you probably look at this company. They are also good fit because they look a lot like this company.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the native integration, is that you're close to the data, so you can use any data point as a signal which reinforces the system, which is a great way to do it.
That's exactly this. And so we monitor the number of people who click there, and then consider the rating good, bad, etc., etc.
That's great.
So, yeah. This gives me another opportunity to explain you what this is. This is the inbox. You can reply. We are multi-channel. You can reply by email or by LinkedIn, depending on where you want to discuss with that person. You can edit that profile, see everybody and where they are, etc., etc.
And also a good, just to tell you how to use it also, this thing, is that sometimes you will have, let's say, you're working in a company and you're in charge of the outreach, but you're doing it on behalf of 3 different identities, 3 different people in the company. And you can be invited, and you don't even need to be premium for that in like Growth Machine. You can be invited to the account and basically have access to the inbox, multimodal inbox of the different people, and then you can, if obviously they gave you their agreement for that, but you can reply on their behalf, or you can at least see the messages, and it can help you, improve the campaigns and all of that. So you can have a bird-eye view on the stuff thanks to this unified inbox.
Yes, you can manage. So only people who want to automate their action are considered paid seats. You can members, free members, and free members can reply, engage, look at the stats, create audience, scrap audience, etc., etc. On the automation.
Yeah, which is great in a company where you have sometimes people who don't want to know at all about the technicalities of the campaign. So they've got someone like me, for instance, and I can help them. And the only thing that they have to do is just authenticate their LinkedIn, authenticate their Gmail or Microsoft Outlook, and maybe their Twitter account, and then the other person can do all the rest for them, which is cool. Yeah,
exactly. That's it for the inbox part. Of course, I explained it earlier, but you can manage your tasks, of course, or different reviews that you have in the tool. And now we come to the question that you had before about the velocity. So these are all the identities, the seats that I have for my license. If I go there, I can see that I only automate stuff from Monday. I do that every day, but you can do that and
you can do it from Monday to Friday if you want.
You can do this from Monday to Friday if you want. I don't. I like to work on the weekend, and so you can define the specific days and time that you want to work, and then the actions. So in my case, as you can see, I like to like a lot of posts per day, but I only follow 80% per day, and only visit 65 profile and send a lot of message every day. A few contact requests and just a little bit of email. We have a risky, safe, fast stage. If you want to stay low, you could change this. You could change this, but this is because it works for me because I tested a lot of settings, and I know that my account, my email, my LinkedIn account works for that level of pressure. If you want to stay safe, stay in the safe area, the green area. And
Do you have a warm-up or not? Do you have a warm-up feature for
that's a
LinkedIn?
very good question. If you use warm-up, why would you use a warm-up? We consider that if you use warm-up, that's because you use an email that is not your day-to-day email.
It has not been warmed yet, so you have to warm it up. Yeah, that's the reason why you call it
That's
warm-up. Yeah.
the goal. And so if you do this, you will need to send very little number of emails. Okay, so you'll probably want to send 20, 30 emails per day. And so you will need four email to send 80 or 100 per day. But if you configure your own email, your real email, the one that you use every day, and if you configure the SPF, DK, IM, etc., everything fine, you can send 100 per day with your own. That's you've seen me modifying it in live. And so when you use a warm up, when you do warm up, that means that you will create new email, and creating those email will limit the number of email that you will need, that you will be able to send. And so you will need more email. And so that's
Yeah, and it's also maybe another game because you have solutions that are focused on mass email outreach, but here it's different. I mean, it's more about a curated approach to outreach, I would say, with like Growth Machine, because you basically start usually from the LinkedIn perspective, where you cap it also because it has to be capped on LinkedIn, and so because the other part is a branch of the workflow, it naturally caps the frequency of the emails because they are a fallback to the primary target, which is LinkedIn. So yeah, it's different. It's different.
In the context of LGM, we consider that our user are not needing this as much as when they use other solutions that are made to send 1 million email a month. We are not made to send the 1 million email a month. We consider that if you send 500, maybe 1,000 prospects, if you contact 1,000 prospects a month, you will get the same number of meetings at the end of the day than when you send 500,000 emails.
And I would say that from a personal experience, the first the first benefit that I extracted from like Growth Machine was just to grow my LinkedIn profile, which is that was the first consequence, which was quite positive. And then I would also add, because you show that you can interact on LinkedIn with people, but something which is crucial when you're using a tool like this one is be genuinely active on LinkedIn. So do some interesting stuff on LinkedIn, because once you start a loop with like Growth Machine or another tool like that, but like Growth Machine being the example today, to reap all the benefits of what you're investing into this, you have to be active on LinkedIn, post interesting stuff from an organic point of view.
Absolutely. Last part that I didn't mention, of course, is the campaign, basically. So in this case, I just take any campaign, okay? Wait, Wait a second. How to share this? Share the tab. Can you? Yeah, you probably see that. Yeah, okay. Um, this is just an example. In this case, this is when the campaign has been started. You can see the number of leads contacted, the number of leads who replied, that you won, that you lost, number of people accepted your request, and the people that you need to qualify. So I got this message, and then like I say, okay, yeah, it's interested, etc., etc. You can see the channel statistics. Basically, did I enrich? How many people did I enrich? What are the messages that are working the most? The actions. So exactly what will happen in the next few minutes, and the activity. Basically, that's the flow. You can see that my flow here is quite complex. This is the flow, and you see exactly how many people has been receiving this message, this one, etc., etc. These are the stats, basically. Something that I didn't mention is that when you create a campaign on Lagos Machine, you don't have to use another tool to share this tab instead, to enrich the contact. In this campaign, you can enrich the leads. So enrich the leads means that at the campaign launch, we'll look for their email, their Twitter, and then phone. What we do, what we consider is that, well, everybody needs the email, the business email. So why we should do that, and that's included in all the plans for everybody without any cost. And what we use is exactly what anybody does today, but that's included in the plan. We use cascading enrichment. We use ICPs, find email, enroll, drop contact, enter, email finder, datagma. I don't remember. Then,
so you've got a waterfall of the different ones. To try to get them.
If the first doesn't find the email, then we go to the second. As soon as one of those found the email, we push that email into an email verifier. If the first email verifier tells me that it's a good email, then I will verify a second time with a second email verifier. Then if everything goes right, I will send you your email. That helps us reduce the bounce rate. We are below 4% bounce rate, approximately between 70 and 75% of email business.
Yeah, that's true. And so, also this enrichment starts when the campaign actually starts. So you enrich progressively when the campaign is exactly. Actually launched. So if you look at your leads in a growth machine, if you don't see the enrichment before launching the campaign, that's not a bug, it's a feature. It starts when it's launched.
Yeah, that's basically it's included 100%. So you don't have to pay for anything, but you can't enrich before sending the campaign, because if you could do that, you could ask for 1 million email, and we don't want to pay, because we pay for the enrichment. We don't pay for 1 million email found, and so the way we do this is that when the campaign starts, we'll enrich the profile, browsing the LinkedIn profile of the lead, getting the first name, last name, the company, and then we'll start looking for the email. Because LinkedIn regulates the number of LinkedIn profile that you can see per month, we consider that you can enrich approximately between 2,000 and 4,000 emails per month, approximately.
That's why you do it also gradually, because that way you just pace it and follow the limits of the system. And also something cool in the leads is that if someone is in multiple audiences and you usually attach one audience to, you don't usually attach, you attach one audience to a campaign. That's the way it works on the platform. It's a nice way, if you filter, to see if someone is in multiple audiences and maybe remove it from a new one. Let's say you create a new audience every week for a client or for yourself, and you want to make sure that you don't send two parallel campaigns to the same person. You can just check whether they are in just one or multiple audiences, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, Exactly. If I take my last campaign, the GTM, the make GTM, I can say, okay, give me people who are in the GTM campaign and only did in multiple audiences. And so you
Mm-hmm.
can see that, well, they commented the make post, they liked my make post, that's obvious. But you can see the number of audiences, so 2 in this case, 3 in this one. You can see exactly where they are and not send them another message if you don't want.
And I also did something for a client because I wanted them to moderate the audiences that were created and add it to the platform. I created an audience called exclusion list. And so I just asked them to add them to the exclusion list, not to blacklist them immediately, but to add them to the exclusion list. And then I blacklist all the people from the exclusion list, basically. But so that then I can use the exclusion list as as kind of a control list for the excluded people across all the campaigns, basically. That's the
Exactly.
idea.
That's a lot of people do this. That's it. I think I did the complete.
Yes, the walkthrough across most of the features. I wanted to ask you, what is the number one feature that you love the most in your own product? The thing that brightens your day when you look at it and say, "Oh, wow, it's so cool."
I work in the product team, so I probably love the lookalike feature a lot, because I know where we want to go with that. So I'd say a lookalike feature.
So it's a good integration, not only because of the feature, but because of all the data signals that you have in the platform. So it makes it more relevant than something that would be disconnected from an outreach tool, something that would be just a lookalike platform,
Exactly,
which
because,
would be different.
well, I know that this is exactly where we want to go. And with Lagos Machine, we want to help our user get more replies as automatically as possible. We don't consider that everything should be automated, but in the future, you will probably not want to import leads every month. You'll probably want to import lead once and then let the machine do the rest. So it could be coming from your CRM the first time, could be coming from your people who marked an interest in your outreach campaign. In any case, you will need to find relevant leads to continue this campaign
Mm-hmm.
after the first month.
That's
And
a good segue for the last part of the interview, where I will always ask the guests how they see the future, the bright future, hopefully, of their product and of the market more broadly. So you already kind of alluded to one of the potential use cases of AI, of artificial intelligence, to further enrich a database, a list of users. Um, where do you see this thing going in the next 12 months or 2 years in terms of integrating, smartly integrating the AI in the process?
um, if you look back 2 years ago, before AI, um, sending a cold outreach campaign or cold outbound campaign was not complicated, but segmenting segmenting was complex. And writing good copywriting was not as easy as people tend to say. And so copywriting, I'm quite sure that at some point we'll have a dedicated outbound AI that works really well. If you test train.ai, for example, it's really, really well. It works really well. The team is completely focused on outbound. They are training their own AI on this. Copywriting will be solved quite easily. The segmentation, I would say, is more tricky because um, you will need you have two things that work. One, intent. Everybody talk about intent. So AI will probably help us identify the right moment to talk to someone. Instead of segmenting, we'll just have an AI that will monitor everybody. And as soon as someone moves his finger, say, okay, he moved his finger. That's the right time. Let's go. And we'll. So segmentation, I don't know. I don't even know if the term segmentation will be the right term, right moment. It's AI will help to identify the right moment. And the second part is, now that you found the right moments, you need to find more leads, and that's exactly where we want to go. And what I talked about for the lookalike, we know that if you already have a business today, you already have clients. And so if you have clients, give us the name of your client. We'll tell you where you should be prospecting.
And do you have some kind also of plans to, in an anonymous way, pool the data from different clients that would use the platform with their consent, but saying, okay, we've got that many growth agencies using the platform, and we kind of know the type of ideal customer for those people. So if you're using our platform, you basically leverage the pooling of the knowledge in a way.
What we will, not exactly in that sense, we will improve, and you mentioned that earlier, we will improve our algorithm, the recommendation algorithm, based on the complete list of people. If we recommend you a company, did it convert at the end of the day? Did it convert? And so this will be self learning, basically. If you use this in the audience, well, we'll say, okay, the algorithm was right. If you didn't, well, probably
But
not.
there could be a case where potentially you have people in their own silo, in their own office or basement, chasing the same people in parallel.
Yeah,
And
and I,
so it's a tricky one, of course, because you don't want to say, okay, we will give you the tools to chase so that everyone chases the same people at the same time. But there is some truth to it, I would say.
yes, I think in terms of prioritization, the first use case will be probably more useful to more people than the second one in silo for one specific person in his own cave. You see, the first one, at least to us, maybe we're wrong. We consider the first one being interested for anyone doing outbound.
Yeah, first part, leveraging the first party data in a smart way
Yep. Yep.
to build a lookalikes. Okay, we're approaching the end of the podcast for today. I think we did well. You were a bit afraid that we would not have time to cover everything. I mean, we have not covered everything. It's a really cool product, and I'm not saying that because I'm using it, but maybe because I'm using it actually. I can tell you from experience, it's a cool product. So I will leave a link in the show note. LGM in short, livegrowthmachine.com. There is a ton of content also on your website that you can just consume for free to inform yourself about the best practices, the way to build your own outreach campaigns. And your customer support is cool also. They reply quite fast. So I must say it's a good one. Usually
That's an asset.
every day.
We consider the support, the customer support as
That's an important one. So I don't know if you have anything else to say to close this first edition. First of all, thank you very much for being the first to test the format. I hope that you liked it, and that the people watching it also have learned something. Anything else to add to finish?
No, I don't think so. If you have any question, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to discuss.
Thank you very much for being with us today. And if you have any product that you want to recommend for another podcast of Show Me the Magic, just send me an email. I will leave also my contact in the show notes. And the next one we will have, which is already planned, is a company from Belgium called Tally, one of the main form builders on the market, and they have built an amazing bootstrap company. north of $150,000 a month just with a team of two. So it will be a great episode, the next one for Show Me the Magic. Thank you very much, Brice, and
Thank you.
see you online. Bye-bye.